Hello, welcome to this O&DR Modurol video. This is video MT02 in our series of XK8 videos detailing how we converted our Jaguar XK8 from automatic transmission to manual. Well, that's the idea anyway. So this video I'd like to detail the kit, sort of the components I've already purchased and what I'm going to need, and also compare this kit to the conversions most people are doing with the ZF gearbox. This is actually a Tremec gearbox. Okay, so I bought this kit from David. Thank you very much, David, for selling me this kit. It was quite expensive, but there are reasons why I paid quite a bit more money than I would do doing a similar ZF sort of S-type gearbox. And I'll try and explain that logic, if you would, as I go along. So first of all, the kit is basically 4 parts. We've got the gearbox, the flywheel, drive shaft, and the box of tricks, the electrical box. So first of all, the gearbox. This is a TUET 1576 Tremec T56 gearbox, or a Borg Warner actually gearbox, but it's basically the same thing. It's sort of I'm not sure if it's a Magnum XL, because it's got this big add-on thing on the back with the gear selector. On the front of that is an adapter plate with a modified, I think it's the ZF 5 HP24 bell housing. So there's quite a big mod at the front. There's a push-out bearing as well for the clutch. So that's the gearbox. I mean, these gearboxes are worth quite a lot of money, A, because they're used in the Aston Martin Vanquish V12, but also the fact that there are quite a lot of muscles cars use them, and they're quite highly rated. They're a lot more expensive to purchase than the ZF S-type box, which actually can handle slightly more torque. Now, after I bought this, I've actually compared in a little table here, and I'll show it now, is the torque ratings and the gear ratios, because I was a bit concerned about the gear ratios being different. And you can see in the table here that the S-type box actually is slightly lower geared than the automatic that's coming out, whereas the Aston Martin or the Tremec gearbox is actually higher geared, almost to the point where on this Tremec box, second gear is actually, or first gear is equivalent to second gear in the Jaguar boxes. It's almost as if this Tremec box is actually second through to 7th. There's no first gear, but there's a 7th gear if you would. It's a 6-speed box. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Hopefully it's not too high geared, to be honest, but it's definitely different. I know there was some talk about people changing the diff to correct that up to a point, but I suppose long term I'd really like to put a limited slip diff in, but we'll cross that bridge later. I think we're a long way from that yet. So that's the gearbox. The gearbox is a bit more of an expensive solution than the S-type one. Obviously I've got the drive plate and the flywheel. This whole kit was previously built into a car by Tom Lenthal, I believe. The guy I bought it from, David, he bought it from him. It was stripped out of a car, and I'm sort of the second-hand owner, if you would. So I've got the flywheel. I've also got a modified drive shaft, because when you use the Tremec box you need to change the drive shaft length. I think it's slightly longer than both the other gearboxes. So I've got that. Interestingly, it's got a mid-shaft bearing, support bearing, which having had a look at my car, I don't have that. On XK8s they have a single drive shaft, single piece drive shaft, where the XKRs, it seems like they've got a 2-piece drive shaft with a support bearing, and there's a big support plate, so need to look at that. And one of the reasons why I paid a lot of money was was the Tremec box, but also this is this box of tricks. So in theory, there's a little electronic gadgetry in this box. It's actually labelled prototype number 2, December 2012. So hopefully if I plug that in, I'll defeat some of the CAN bus issues and be able to drive the car. Albeit I probably won't have a speedo and stuff, so there is long-term issues even with this kit for what I'm trying to build here as a road car. So that's the actual kit. I paid £3,425, so £95 delivered for this. I say if you were to purchase the same kit for ZF boxes are going anywhere between £500 or £600. A drive shaft you could probably pick up for less than £100. You've got to get someone to make you up a flywheel. I don't know, you're looking £400, £500. Obviously the box of tricks is completely unavailable. You know, that is not something you can purchase, but I'm going to find out more information. There is people who are offering this sort of stuff, but I believe the max ECU where you take the ECU out and completely replace it with another one, you're looking at £3,000 or £4,000 just for that. So if this does the trick, it'll be great in the short term. So if you were to do a ZF, I paid £3,500. If you do the ZF version without a box of tricks, you're probably looking at doing it for 1,200 quid, something like that. So on the face of it, I've overpaid quite a lot, but I say hopefully this works, at least in the short term. So that's the project. So I'm going to address this in sort of sections, if you would. So first of all, I've got to find all the missing bits and actually fit the gearbox in mechanically. So what bits have I got missing? Well, I've got a bit of a list. It's quite a bit of a list. So I've got the gearbox, the flywheel, prop shaft, loom, and the gearbox mounting bracket. Oh, sorry, I've got a gearbox mounting bracket around here somewhere. I do need a pedal box. Obviously, I need a clutch pedal, so I'm going to have to fabricate that up. So easier said than done. Obviously, I need a clutch. I need a clutch master cylinder kit, a clutch line, bleed line. I need the pilot bearing. It goes in here, that's missing. I'm going to need a gearbox mount at the back. I've got to make a gearbox mounting point, but not the isolator itself. I'm going to need the prop shaft mounting plate for that bearing. Obviously, I'm going to have replacement gear oil, the gator surround, and then we're going to look at, if this doesn't work, potentially I'm going to have to look at a max ECU change or some other alternative. I may have to replace some items of the exhaust to clear the new gearbox. So that gives you some idea of what I'm looking at. It's quite a lot of money. Don't tell my wife. But possibly I could do it for another, I don't know, 1,500 quid more, plus the max ECU. I don't know. I'm going to track the costs and I'll show you how it develops. Anyway, that's my kit. It's not the most cost-effective way of doing it, but this is the way I'm going. So hopefully you'll enjoy the journey with me. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK videos. Bye-bye.